This is a great honor for every fan of the Dallas Cowboys. I'm honored to be in the NFL.
What can I say? Mamba out.
All right, well, it's happening, everybody. Welcome to the Afternoon Show presented by ESCN. Excuse me. I'm Chris Gonzalez, joined by Tony Gonzalez and Jay McLovin. How's it going, guys?
Good.
Yeah, I am doing well. Not too shabby over here today, Tony. I ain't gonna lie, man. It's a beautiful day. Can't complain.
That's not too bad here. Pretty nice day. Getting to be about 60 degrees out, so supposed to be 75 here tomorrow.
Yeah, I love a good high 60s, low 70s, light breeze. That really is probably my favorite weather, honestly, because I don't feel like I'm sweating, but I'm not cold either.
Yep.
I'm somewhere kind of in the middle, I guess. That's a good day for y'all.
Yeah, it is. Guys, what'd you think of the NBA last night? I was a little surprised. Bulls didn't show up. Didn't show up at home. They got the hell beat out of them by the Heat from the start to the finish.
Yeah, I got to be honest with you. I picked the Heat to take that one, or excuse me, I picked the Bulls to take it, and then I picked Sacramento to take it, and neither one of those came to fruition. So I was right, and I didn't even think I was going to watch it because I was like, I don't know, I got other things I want to do. And then when I found out that the two teams I thought were going to win didn't win, I was like, man, okay, that didn't go the way I thought it was.
Yeah, I had the Bulls and the Mavericks, and they both won. But I had the Bulls and the Mavericks. Bulls lost. Mavericks won. Bulls, I don't know what happened. I really thought they'd be ready to play at home. I really thought they'd beat the Heat. I really did.
Well, I think a lot of people probably didn't. I know I'll be one of them. I said I look past Tyler Hero. I mean, that dude, hey, he showed out. So yeah. Gonzo, what'd you think of it?
I didn't watch any of it. I kind of agree with what McAfee and them told the commissioner today. You should have those games on they should have had them 4 playing games on the same day instead of having some on Tuesday and then some last night. They should have had the 9 and 10 games the same time, the same night as the 7-8 games. Because I think last night, for one, neither one of them was really close games, wasn't good games. So I think it was more of a lackluster night where you could have had all 4 on that one night, and then actually you could have done the other games today, and the teams could have had a day off before the playoffs start on a Saturday. And now you're playing that game Friday, and then whoever wins them games play on Sunday. Where if you could have done them games on Thursday, and them teams wouldn't had to play till wouldn't start the playoffs till Sundays. That give them 2 days instead of 1 day. That gives you plenty of time to travel and everything. Yeah. But I was surprised. But I thought the Bulls would win. I was surprised that, like you guys said, that they didn't show up and play better than that. Mavericks, that game I was kind of torn on because I thought the Mavericks would win depending on if they were healthy, but I didn't know if they were going to have enough. If they're going to be healthy enough, their defense looked good. From what I hear, played pretty good last night.
It did.
I felt like a couple of things I kind of noticed. One, we talked about Tyler Hero and an amazing shot. I mean, that guy he was hot, 13 and 19 from the field, 3 of 7 from the arc for 38s in 37 minutes. I thought that was pretty crazy. But I also thought Bam Adebayo and what that guy did at 12 rebounds and 15 points was obviously a pretty big thing. And, of course, Mitchell give you 15 points off the bench. I mean, I kind of felt like for the Heat, everything was kind of clicking for them. And I think I know Mike was heavily thinking the Bulls were going to take that. But, I mean, Spoelstra's a good coach, and he definitely had that team ready to go. In terms of the Mavericks, I thought the big thing there was Klay Thompson. And, you know, a lot of people forget, at least I know, I kind of overlook Klay now. Honestly, since he's had those injuries, I kind of overlook him a little bit. But, you know, I think he showed last night, don't overlook me, because him and AD both, you know, played very well, I thought. So, yeah.
Frankie, what was your thoughts on the games last night?
Yeah, I was a little bit surprised with the Chicago Bulls. I thought, you know, because of how great the team turned their, you know, the end of the season around, you know, I thought they were going to go on a hot streak, even going into the playoffs a little bit. But it was a little bit of a shocker. But then again, like Jay said, you don't ever overlook, you know, Eric Spoelstra. You know, he's been in this types of moments for a long time. He knows, you know, what to do in the playoffs. And Tyler Hero and Bam Adebayo as well. I said that to Mike last night. I said, listen, or 2 nights ago, I told him, I said, don't overlook Tyler Hero. And he's over here, well, who's scared of Tyler Hero? Who's scared of Bam Adebayo? I'm like, listen, they know what to do in the playoffs. These are men who've been experienced in the playoffs. And Tyler Hero did what he had to do by being the shooter. And Bam Adebayo had to do what he do as a center and getting that second chance points on rebounds and stuff. So with the Mavericks, I mean, that was I honestly thought Sacramento was going to win. Honestly, I really did. AD didn't look really good in the first half, but, you know, he ended up doing what he did in the second. The main factor point for me with the Mavericks was Klay Thompson. We haven't seen this style of Klay Thompson play all season long, and he just turned it up last night, knowing that it's a playoff moment, and he's trying to show the league, like, don't forget about me. Like, I'm still Klay Thompson. I know what I got to do in the playoffs. So it was really good. But I don't think Dallas is gonna pass Ja Morant and Bane with that Memphis team over there.
Yeah, I'm glad you said that, because, you know, Anthony Davis, you're right. He went 9 of 23 in total. PJ Washington went 5 of 15. Yeah, once you start playing like Ja Morant and that, you know, that very aggressive type of style of play that Memphis gives you, yeah, I don't think that's going to work out too well. I will say, though, that Exum and Williams off the bench gave you 28 combined points, which I thought was a big help to the Mavericks versus what Sacramento did. So I still think, yeah, I think they're going to have that's going to be the real test going forward, is how they're going to play against Memphis.
Yeah, it should be an interesting matchup. I think I would go with the Grizzlies also. Man, it would be how good do you think the Mavericks could be if they were completely healthy, had everybody?
Oh, Kyrie? Oh, if they had Kyrie playing and he was healthy, you know, I don't think they would have been a play-in. I think they, you know, would have had a good shot at, you know, being somewhere around in that 6th spot possibly.
No, I don't think so. I think they would have still been.
So?
No, because you also got to take in the factor that AD was out for a long time as well. And if Kyrie would have never got hurt, AD would have been out as well. But AD wasn't also the only one out. They had a Lively was out. Like, they had a lot of injuries, not just Kyrie. So if Kyrie never got hurt, you know, and you still had the injuries to all the others, I think they would have still been a play-in team. They would have definitely been a 7 or 8 seed.
Okay. Yeah, Lively really didn't do too much, honestly. He put up 2 of 5. 4 assists and a rebound for 5 points. I mean, he really wasn't too involved in that game in terms of offensively or defensively.
Chris, how you think the Mavericks would have been if they'd been healthier, especially with Kyrie?
If they were healthier, if they had their full team after adding Davis, and if he was healthy, I think they would have been going into the playoffs feeling pretty good and have a chance to make a deep run in the playoffs. I really do. I mean, yeah, you lost Luka, but you added a good player in Davis, and he was going to help you on the defensive side as well. So, if they were healthy, I think they would be a threat right now in the playoffs.
I think it's pretty impressive when you look at Dallas and all the injuries that they sustained after that AD trade, and I mean, even to the point where they were talking about having to forfeit games. You know, and here they are now, one game away from being in the playoffs at number 8 spot. You got to hand it to them, you know, because a lot of teams I think would have just crumbled up and faded.
Yeah, they didn't quit.
I think honestly, like it's more the fact that KD, Devin Booker, and that Phoenix Suns team, like they just didn't produce that what everybody expected. I feel like if they would have played better, we wouldn't have seen Dallas Mavericks. I swear to God, Dallas wouldn't have made that play in because remember at the end of the season, it was a battle between Phoenix and Dallas in that last spot. But towards the end, Dallas kept winning and Phoenix kept losing. So I feel like if they would have played better over there in Phoenix, we would have had Phoenix instead of Dallas. But I'm kind of glad that Phoenix crumbled at the end because I love to see Kevin Durant crumble.
Yeah,
I like to
so they
see
can
the
get rid
teams
of him,
crumble.
so he can be a Laker next year.
No, he's gonna be the Heat. Did you not see what I shared? He's
Oh,
gonna
he gonna
be a
be
Heat.
that's
No, he's gonna be a Rocket. No, he's gonna be a Rocket. Yeah,
gonna be a Laker, man.
he's gonna be a Rocket. Yeah, and then Bronny James is gonna be a Pacer, and my boy my boy Miles Turner gonna be a Laker.
That'd be okay. 'Cause that means if Bronny is a Pacer, that means LeBron's coming with him.
Hey, you could take him. That's fine. Take him. We're in the Luca era now in LA, baby.
Luka and Durant.
We in the Luca era. Just Luca and Austin Reeves. Just Luca and Austin Reeves. The Durant era is going to Houston.
Okay.
You know what though? I'll tell you this: if that really does happen, and Udaka approves of that, I'm not going to fight it. You know, Udaka has made pretty good choices in terms of the free agents that he's brought in so far. So you know what? I'll give it a shot. We'll see what happens. And then if KD, I don't need KD to be the leader. Just come in and play your role, play your job, killer. Hit them threes, play some good D.
See, you don't even know KD. Then you don't even know KD. But he gonna go in there. He gonna be a ball. He gonna try and be a boss. He gonna think he gonna run that team. And then you know what's gonna happen, Jay? You're gonna follow right behind him. Cause guess what? He's on the Rockets. On the Rockets.
I mean, it sounds good the way Frankie says it, but what if it doesn't go that direction? What if he actually solidifies a team like he did in Golden State?
He did not solidify Golden State. What the hell?
I'm not saying, oh God, dude, you are such a play on fucking words, man. What I'm trying to tell you is when he went to Golden State, he didn't hinder that team. He had good, strong leadership and Klay Thompson, Draymond, and Steph that he played his role and he got a ring.
Okay, and who's gonna do what Steph, Klay, and Draymond did over there for Houston? Who's Dylan Brooks, Van Fleet? That's the only two. That's the only two experienced people in the NBA.
I don't think you're gonna have to be experienced to be a leader, though. I don't think you need experience to be a leader. I think some people are just natural leaders. You know, and it seems to be working. I think Segun's a pretty good leader. I think Jalen Green is a pretty good leader. And Udaka is a good leader as a coach. I think it could work. If it comes to that fruition, I don't think – look, Dylan Brooks was horrible before he came to the Rockets. If you've been watching Dylan Brooks with the Rockets, it hasn't been the same Dylan Brooks. He's been playing the ball fairly good, and he has been playing his role.
He's still horrible. Because he's a Houston Rocket. He's been playing.
No, I didn't say that because he's a Houston Rocket. I didn't say it's just because he's a Houston Rocket. He's been playing his role. He hasn't been outspoken. He hasn't been saying stupid stuff in the media. He's been playing his role.
I have a question. Talking about leaders, would you guys consider LeBron the leader of the Lakers?
I mean, yeah, at this point.
Yeah, I feel like LeBron is the if he's on any team, he's the leader.
Okay. Do you think Luka can be that leader if LeBron was to leave?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Chris?
Answer him, Chris.
You
on cloud 9 right now?
He's watching the Reds.
I'm watching the Reds game. No, I think LeBron's definitely the leader of the Lakers, but I think Luka's their best player right now.
Do you think Luka could be the leader though? I mean, I don't know.
I mean, he was the leader. He was the leader in Dallas and got him to the Western Conference Finals or the finals or whatever. So I mean,
hey,
I think he
Chris,
could do it in LA as well.
Chris, I love it when you say that. You know, I love it the way you say that. You're like, yeah, LeBron's the leader, but Luka's the better player on that team. That just made me like, ooh, Chris. And then he go out and he said, well, he was the leader in Dallas. Hey, yo, Chris, be real. He's still the leader in Dallas with the Lakers across his chest. You saw what he did on that welcome home shit. He took over Dallas. That's still his house.
He was crying like a little bitch. He didn't want to leave Dallas. He don't want to be a Laker. He really wants to still be a Maverick. Honestly,
you expect them not to cry, Tony?
Yeah, be a man. Don't be a pussy.
Tony, you come on, bro. Come on, Tony.
They traded
what is
his
with
like
you?
a piece of garbage. I wouldn't give
what
them,
is with you,
I wouldn't give
Tony?
them the satisfaction of me crying, but after they treated him the way they treated him.
I love because it wasn't his fault. Like, he loves the fans. He loved the city. That's not his fault. He didn't go out and say, yo, listen, trade me right now. Of course he's going to cry. But then what happened? He wiped it away and ended with 45.
Yeah, he don't want to be a Laker. He wants to be a Maverick.
He wants to be a Laker. He loves it. You can't spell LA without Luka. Don't try it, Tony. I know it's WrestleMania week, but you ain't going to turn me up, all right? I'll go to Indiana and clothesline you from hell, Tony. And then I'm going to pedigree Chris because he's just sitting there next to you letting it ride. Like,
he agrees with me. Ask him.
He don't agree with you. He don't agree with you. You agree with him, Chris? We'll talk about this backstage, Chris.
What do you think, Jay?
I think Chris is stoned and just playing the Reds game off as an alibi. That's what I think. I could be wrong. I feel like it is, though. I feel like I'm kind of right on this one because did you see the way his head was cocked back?
You're not right because I ain't no more stoned today than I would be any other day. So I'm watching the Reds game.
He is watching
We had runners in scoring position.
I can't answer about the stone part for sure, but the Reds game is on.
Are they winning?
No, they are not.
No, hey, look, here's the deal. I do think Luka has been a leader for a while now. I think he's very vocal. I think you can see the passion when things aren't going right for the team that he's on. I think we see it in Dallas quite a bit. And I think you're seeing it a little bit in LA. Now that he's kind of fitting in with the system and blending in with the system, I think he's kind of looking like the old Luka from Dallas. I think he kind of got off to a rocky start, probably because he, getting into a new system, playing with new people, things like that. So, but yeah, I mean,
Jay, who's the leader in Houston?
Well, right now, I feel like Sagoon is probably most of the leader. I mean, he's the longest tenured Rocket right now on that team, and I think he does command a presence over there. Fred VanVleet obviously is a leader from a veteran standpoint. So I think you got a couple of leaders. I don't know a lot about Jalen Green in terms of his leadership style. So I'm still kind of looking, trying to get him more. But I do know he's producing, obviously, right? I mean, he's playing at a pretty good level. So
I'd say the Pacers got to be Halliburton winning, Chris.
Yeah.
Or Halliburton, maybe Turner.
Yeah, Turner. I think Siakam's as well, but Halliburton's definitely the main leader of the team.
Okay, guys, you want to talk a little Aaron Rodgers?
Oh man, it's interesting. It was interesting. First of all, how the Jets dealt with it. I thought that was crazy. He made a good point. Like, you fly me all the way to New York. I walk up into what I think is going to be a couple hours, maybe 3 or 4 hour meeting, and in the first 20 seconds, the guy leans over to him and says, "Hey, you still want to play football?" And I agree with what they were saying. I think he wanted him to say, "No, I'm going to retire," so that way it would have been a nice, easy transition for the Jets to look on to the next person and not have any drama or any second guessing or anything else. Because I think I think what did he say? Rodgers says, "You don't know me," and because I think he felt like he was gonna Rodgers was gonna be at the back of the room undermining him, and then the ownership says, "Well, you don't know me either," and he's like, "That's exactly right. That's why I flew all the way here to talk to you face to face." But really, if you were going to let me go and not bring me back, because you said you're going to go in a different direction in the first 20 seconds of the interview, you probably could have told me this on the phone and saved me a flight.
I agree with that. If you don't want them, just tell them.
But what was interesting, though, to me, and I think Aaron made a good point to talk about it. And if I was ownership of a group that's going to go away from, a star veteran quarterback that's got 20 years in the league, I'd probably pick his brain a little bit about my team. Hey, what do you think are weaknesses? What do you think what do you think improvements are? And they asked nothing of him. They just basically said, have a nice day, get out. Which I think is it's disrespectful to Aaron, but it also doesn't help your team get better from a veteran quarterback standpoint. And I think that's why the Jets are the way the Jets are.
Let me ask you this: if they would have asked him after they told him, "Hey, we're not interested in having you here anymore," and then they say, "Hey, what direction do you think we need to go?" Do you think he answers that, or if he's pissed off? So, well, fuck you. I mean, how do you think he would have responded to that? I mean, I know we can't say for sure, or do you think he would have been said, "Well, yeah, here's what you might need to do"? I mean, Chris, what do you think?
I think he'd probably had the conversation. Now, the way it went down, where in the first 20 seconds, the guy first runs out of the room and then goes gets the GM and then comes back. And then the way it happened then, maybe he wouldn't have been so open to having the conversation. But I think if it was handled like it should have been and they went in there and they had a meeting like he thought it was going to be, I think he would have been open to it. But once they do that to you, then it's like, well, hell, you like he said, we could have done this over a phone call. So you might not be open to sit there for a couple hours after, because you already feel disrespected.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, I mean, Aaron flat out said in the interview, they asked me nothing. They didn't ask me, hey, where can I be? Where can we improve the team? How can we do this, that, and that? Aaron wanted to give them the information, but they didn't want the information. I think that's why he felt disrespected. You fly me over here just to tell me I'm fired,
Jay,
and then send me home.
They didn't fly him there. He
flew himself there. I'm just saying, but
yeah, I'm just saying, like he paid for his flight there and everything. It wasn't like
that's kind of unusual too, isn't it?
I'd have been like, y'all gonna valet me, right? But no, it's incredible. But I think it does tell you everything you need to know about the Jets organization and how it is they run that team, which is terrible. If you don't even know the basic things of looking to get information on your team, I mean, I think it just kind of tells you everything you know about the Jets.
The other thing I took away from the interview, it sounds like to me, if he plays, he's gonna be a Steeler. I mean, that's what it sounds like to me. I don't think there's any other teams. I mean, something could happen if you don't come back right now. And I'm not saying that he don't start the season playing, he couldn't end up somewhere, if somebody got hurt or something. But I'm saying if he's going to start the season, I think it's going to be with the Steelers, is what I believe. Going by that interview, he didn't say that, but that's just the way I took it.
Well, let's be honest. What did we take away from that interview? I took away from that interview in terms of when I'm talking about the Steelers situation is the fact that he said, I think Pat McAfee said, "You're such an attention whore, right?" And he's like, "Well, if I was an attention whore, why didn't I, when I flew to Pittsburgh to meet with Tomlin, why did I not go to downtown Pittsburgh, fly in there, and then get the entourage over to you guys?" No, he flies into an off the beat path airport, rents a Malibu, goes incognito to the facility to the point where nobody even knew he was coming except Mike Tomlin and I think and the owner. And that's about the only people that knew he was coming. Even the quarterback coach and things like that, or the passing game coordinator, had no idea that he was coming in. So I got to give Aaron a little bit of love on that, because I know I've said he's an attention whore. I've said that. But I got to give him some love. He took a very sneaky approach to get in there to not be seen, which is very non-Aaron Rodgers-like. I thought that was interesting. But he did say he's leaving it open. He said, "Look, I'm not holding the team hostage. I know everybody thinks I'm holding it hostage. Even I said he's holding it hostage." But he said, "Look," he told ownership, "Look, I got personal stuff to deal with, and that's where my focus is. And when I'm done with my personal stuff, then we can have a conversation. I'm not closing the door. I'm leaving it open, but I'm also telling you that if you don't think you can wait, for me to do my personal stuff, then by all means, go on." The problem is they really have nobody to go on to. So yeah, where are they going to go to?
That's true. He didn't go into details. It sounds like something pretty serious situation with somebody he's close to, or maybe even multiple people he's close to. Right. He didn't want to say what it was, but it sounded like a pretty serious situation the way he emphasized it, at least the way I took it. And I commend him. I don't think there's a lot of people that he's close to, and I think the ones he are close to, he's going to stand stand behind, stand with, stand in front of, or whatever, So I commend him for that, and I commend him for telling him, "So look, I can't fully commit to you right now." So I think he's being honest with them,
Yeah.
and if they want to wait for him, then they wait for him. If not, then Chris, what'd you take away from the interview?
I haven't seen the whole thing. I've seen most of it, I think, but I did see where when I quit watching it because it was time to come on here and I was running late. He was talking about how he about the Steelers still been in contact with Tomlin. I think he's going to play. I really do. I think it's probably going to be with the Steelers. If he don't start with the Steelers, I think he ends up playing somewhere in the season after a quarterback goes down or something. I mean, like 50 something quarterbacks played in the NFL last year, so I mean, don't want to see anybody get hurt, but odds are there's going to be some openings. So I do think he gets in. I enjoyed the interview, but I've always enjoyed when Rodgers has been on McAfee. Jay, was this your first time like watching one of the interviews when he's been on McAfee?
Yeah.
And the reason I asked that because you said like about like that he wasn't looking for attention and stuff, and you said that's not Aaron Rodgers like. But if you've watched the interviews on there, it is Aaron Rodgers like, but it's not Aaron Rodgers like for what the media kind of per se. But like I've been watching him on there for 5 years, and like that's why one of the reasons like when people were saying some of the stuff about him, I'm like, you guys are going by what you just hear off the media. You're not going by like what you ever hear from him. But yeah, them interviews, I like him because you always end up learning something. That's one of the reasons I like McAfee's show so much is because like he had Adam Silver on there today, and I thought that was a real great interview. And you hear Silver talk about things that you don't hear him talk about on other shows, and
Right.
So, but yeah, I enjoyed the interview, and like I said, I think Rodgers handled it right by being honest with them and saying, "Hey, I can't commit right now, but if you want to move on to somebody else, go ahead. But if you want, but I mean, it's just funny how some of the stories get blown up out of
Like he said,
the other direction. Is like
he said, most of the shit's been reported. He said is just bow-faced lies. I mean, he said I never said that I had to have. I forget what was the amount. So much money.
it was like a multi-year deal for like $60 million. He said, I've told the teams I play for $10 million.
That's what he said.
My thing was, well, one of the things I like, part of the biggest thing I liked about what he said was that if I'm going to commit, I'm all the way in. I'm not just going to partially commit and not be all in. So the fact that, he wants to take time before he says I'm all in, I can respect that too, because that is once you commit, right? And that is one thing about Aaron Rodgers. I do think that when he's committed to a team, he's committed to a team. The only thing that I think is Brett Favre like is it just takes him a long ass time to get to the commit. I mean, but at the end of the day,
well, it may be a situation where the personal issue is they don't know what's happening for sure with this personal issue, and he don't want to commit, and then this person's really bad off or whatever the situation is, and he feels
I understand that
he's got to be there. So it's a tough situation.
Well, that's the thing, though, Tony. The one-offs, like this is a one-off. You can consider this to be a one-off, right? If he's got personal things, okay, that's a one-off. But when you're out in dark rooms and ayahuasca retreats or whatever, I'm like, I don't know. I mean, because it's more of a pattern of waiting for him to make a decision than it is a one-off.
Yeah, they brought that up. He said, "I ain't been doing any of that." He said, "I haven't done any of that." He said, "I'm pretty clear." He said, "I don't need any of that right now."
I do want to go into a dark room for 24 hours and just be totally. I don't know. I might go crazy. Frankie? I don't know if I could do it. I don't know if I could just go into a dark room and be totally quiet. I think I could do that. I think I'd fucking crack. I think I would go absolutely, unless you put me on some really good ayahuasca where I'm just zoned out, slobber coming out the side of my mouth. Maybe I can do it then.
I mean, you don't have to be quiet, Jay. You can talk to yourself.
I do that anyway.
That's true. We don't listen to him, so he's definitely talking to himself.
Oh, man. Joe, man. I like your optimism, man. I do. He said the Rockets are going to sweep them bums. Hey, if they did, I'd be the first one on here talking mad shit.
Frankie, are you there? You got any thoughts on the Rodgers?
Yeah, I don't really care much about Rodgers crying like a little
I
girl.
figured that's what he was going to say.
Yeah, listen, I hear what Chris is saying. He likes it. You know, he likes when he does interviews. I hear what Jay's saying. Like, oh, he sounds like, you know, he could be committed, blah, blah, blah. I'm tired of the like Aaron Rodgers talk. He's just like Jerry Jones, just in a single player, just wants the media attention. He just wants everybody's ear. He's already got Jay, you know, in his head, like, well, he seems like a committed person. No, he's not. Then he's got Chris over there, like, well, you know, he has good interviews and stuff like that. Of course he's supposed to, because he's getting people like you who likes getting interviews that to, you know, get people to like him. I see past him. I see over him. I don't give a damn about Aaron Rodgers. He's doing this, like I said, for attention, because if he was really committed, Jay, he would have already signed with Pittsburgh a long time ago.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying. I think he just doesn't know how long, whatever this is he's dealing with, he doesn't know how long it's going to last. And I think that's what he's saying about being committed.
He says stupid stuff. He's listen.
I mean, I don't know, Frankie.
He's over here.
I can only go by what he says.
He's over here like, listen, you know, I'm really thinking about it. You know, I'm 41 years old. I'm in a serious relationship. I'm doing that. I'm doing this. We're thinking about multiple things. Who do you think you are? Tom Brady? Ben Roethlisberger?
No, Tom Brady didn't care about Giselle. That's why he went and signed that contract and then got divorced.
Exactly.
I'm just being honest. Let's just call it what it is. That's why Giselle was over there boinking the tennis pro or whatever he was.
We'll take some karate, baby. She went to some karate.
Let me show you a couple of holds.
That's some karate.
I'm going to be very effective.
Oh, wow. Here we go.
Did I just say that?
Here we go.
Hey, we have totally infected Tony now, man.
Come on, McClain. We need big shit here.
I feel a lot better today, man. I was hurting yesterday.
Yeah. Well, I know. I mean, I don't blame you, man. Shit.
Tony, I'm pretty sure you hurting every day. As soon as you wake up, you're hurting with that old ass body of yours.
That's true, but Frank, I fell off a ladder the day before.
I mean, I don't think concrete floors are going to be very forgiving.
No, that concrete floor was not forgiving.
What was the distance of the fall if you had to guesstimate? 10 feet, 8 feet, 4 feet?
It wasn't that high. If it was that high, I'd been in the hospital right now. It's probably about 5 feet.
It's 2 feet.
About 5 foot.
You gotta really,
hey, tall as I am, 2 feet's a long way.
Jay, you gotta really think about it. Tony's a 4'8" man. 2 feet is about like 10 feet for him. So it was about a 2 feet drop for him.
That's true.
But it took him about 2, maybe 3 minutes to hit the floor because you know he's so small. It took a while.
I know one thing. I don't know how high it was, but it hurt. I know that.
Well, concrete, like I said, concrete don't forgive.
Nope.
I've landed on concrete before. It hurts like hell. What a time to be alive. I don't know, man. When it comes to football, I was thinking about the Cleveland Browns today because they get the number 2 pick. And I'm wondering which way they're going to go. Could they go Travis Hunter? Because they have no problems using Travis Hunter as a two-way star. They've already come out and said that they would use him as a two-way star. Now the Giants are saying that they would use him as a two-way star. So I'm kind of curious, as you know, Tennessee's going to go quarterback. So could Travis Hunter actually wind up being the number 2 pick at Cleveland?
I think if Tennessee goes quarterback, it's a big mistake.
Yeah.
With the first pick, if they move back and get somebody, it might be all right. But if they take who they're going to take, any of them quarterbacks with the very first pick in the draft, I think it's going to set their franchise back another 2 or 3 years at least. That's just my opinion.
Literally, this will be the third. If they take Cam Ward and he doesn't pan out, that's like the third quarterback that they drafted that would not have panned out because Levis was there. Who was the other kid before Levis that they drafted? He wound up going over to Green Bay or something like that. Malik Willis, Levis, and if Ward doesn't pan out, that's 3 quarterbacks that they drafted that didn't pan.
Yeah, I would trade that pick, and you maybe try to move down to 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th. Still get a quarterback, maybe if there's anybody. you could maybe get Sanders, maybe even. I mean, I don't think that Ward's that much better than Sanders, and you're going to get more picks to try to build that team. I think taking any quarterback that's in that draft at number 1 would be a huge mistake. And I have a little bit of experience because the coach took a guy at number 4 that had no business being number 4.
Well, you could also make the same case for Trey Lance. You also make the same case for Ryan Leaf. I mean, there's a lot of guys that went high up in that, 1 through 5 at quarterback that didn't pan. But I will tell you this: I think if I was Cleveland, I would definitely hop on Travis. If Travis Hunter is there at number 2, which I think he will be, I would definitely hop on him. I would definitely hop on that guy.
Whoa, relax. You trying to hop on him?
Hey, calm down. Calm down over there, killer.
You said it twice.
No. Hey, put the blunt back in the mouth. It's okay. Don't take it out.
You're like, if I'm Cleveland, I'll hop on him. I'll definitely hop on him.
You gonna use some karate on him?
I don't know karate.
Hop on him in the dark room.
I'm a lover. I'm not a fighter. That's why when Gonzo stood up that one day, I got really scared and turned on at the same. Wait, what?
You got turned on too. Dude's a little karate on that asshole.
Hi, Obama. No, shut up, Jay. Shut up. I gotta remind my own self to shut up sometimes. But no, seriously. But seriously though, think about it.
I think I would take Abdul Carter over Travis Hunter.
Would you do Abdul
from Cleveland?
Okay.
Yeah, Chris. Would you do Abdul?
I wouldn't do Abdul, but that's who I would draft.
Yeah. No, I mean that might honestly, that's probably not a bad idea. I know he's coming off that injury going into the draft. I don't guess that injury is going to be anything significant that's going to affect him. Has y'all heard anything about that at all? Or yeah, he had surgery or something like that before he went into the draft. Abdul Carter did.
I like Carter a lot.
Yeah, but they said he wouldn't have to have surgery and that it was going to be should be fine, is what they were saying.
Yeah, he should be able to start the season at week 1.
Yeah, I just didn't know if it was going to be anything that was going to affect his ability to start the season or not.
In my opinion, I think he is the number 1 pick. I think if Dallas had the number 1 pick, that's who they should take. I think that's who the coach should take if they had the number 1 pick. I even think if New England had the number 1 pick, I think Carter would be a shoe-in. In my opinion, I think he's that good. I think he'll make a big difference on a team.
So if you got Abdul Carter, you could pair him opposite of Myles Garrett. That would be a hellified pass rush for those guys. I mean, seriously, that could be a really big difference maker on that defense. Or, and this is why I'm almost kind of thinking maybe they do go Travis Hunter, because then you could put him opposite of Judy in packages and yet still have him on your secondary side too. I don't know, Gonzo. What are you thinking, man? Would it make more sense to just get the one position and fortify that front side of it? Or would it be better to maybe hit 2 spots for one? To me,
if I have the number 1 pick, if I'm going to use that on the pass rusher or number 2, because to me they're more valuable.
Okay.
I mean, look at the Philadelphia Eagles. What was one of the big reasons they won the Super Bowl? Their defensive line and their offensive line. So I just think a guy like Abdul Carter is a little more valuable because of the position of defensive line than a guy like Travis Hunter. Yeah, he's going to help you on the corner or a receiver, but it just seems like the pass rushers are the more impactful players. If you're going to use the number 2 pick on a guy, I would choose the guy I think is going to have the more impact on the team winning.
How good of a receiver do you think he could play? Let's say he's going to be the receiver.
I think he'll be a better receiver than he'll be a defensive player.
Is he? Because I haven't watched a lot of his games. I've seen him play a couple times, so I really don't know. That's why I'm asking you guys.
Yeah,
I think he's a receiver that could catch 100 passes in a season.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Okay. That's why I was asking.
The only downside with Travis Hunter, which is kind of the same issue I have with Shedeur Sanders, is it's not like Colorado was out there playing the most elite competition. You know what I'm saying? If he was in the SEC and he was producing at the level he's producing in the SEC, well, then now we can have a different conversation because, like this guy's going against legit stuff. I just think there's a lot of unknowns with Travis and Shedeur for those reasons. And I think that's why I think I kind of do agree with Gonzo that I would probably go after an Abdul Carter at number 2.
My only question
You pair
is,
him up opposite of Myles Garrett, and that's going to be hell for any quarterback to deal with.
Come on, Ellie.
my question is how effective you're going to be trying to play both positions in the NFL. It's one thing to do it in college, and I know it's been done at some level before. I just don't know how effective that will be. I think he's going to have to be more one of the other. I don't think he's not going to be able to play 70 plays. You know what I mean? You know, both sides of the ball, total. So that's just my opinion, and he may prove me wrong. I mean, the dude's a hell of an athlete, I'm sure. So if he proves me wrong, he proves me wrong. I'm rooting for the guy. Some of the stuff I've seen, I like him. I'm not a big Sanders fan. I think he's too cocky. That's just my opinion. I'm kind of old and crusty, so.
But I do believe that the human body can only take so much, especially when you're playing at the top of the elite best, right? The speed of the game, things like that. I think it takes too much on the body to stay completely healthy all the time if you're being used. Maybe every now and then on certain packages, okay, you can give the body a rest. But to be like, look at Otani, I mean, he's hit injuries. Even Bo Jackson, playing baseball and football, I mean, he had issues. He didn't last long. I just think I've never seen a successful two-way person over the long haul stay healthy.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I'm kind of on the fence with that one. I think if you're going to take him at defensive back, you play him defensive back primarily. Maybe in the playoffs, you throw a couple of wrinkles in there on offense, use them in a couple of packages in the playoffs, and I think you're good.
You're leaning more as a receiver than as a defense. How tall is he? He's not real tall, is he?
I'm not really sure how tall he is, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
I thought he was under 6 foot. I could be wrong. I get off here, guys. My WrestleMania weekend is starting because I'm gonna be watching wrestling all night all day Friday, all day Saturday, and all day Sunday.
Wrestling's on the night.
All kinds of game changer stuff. Game changers, all kinds of shit. I'm gonna watch it all.
Hey, Travis Hunter is 6'1".
Okay, I was wrong. I thought he was under 6 foot.
He's 6'1", 185 pounds. So lean and skinny and tall.
That's why I think he'd be better as a wide receiver than a defensive back. I think his body will hold up better on the offensive side of the ball than being a full-time defensive player.
You think so?
That's not – I understand that. At 6'1", 185, he probably would last longer. He probably would. So, I mean, so even if that's the case, maybe you put him as just a wide receiver and have him maybe play defensive back every now and then if you really want to have him play defensive back. I don't think I would. I'd probably keep him as just a wide receiver. But
Frankie, what do you think he would be more effective at?
I think he'll be more effective at the wide receiver position. I watched a lot of Travis Hunter during college. Now, I don't really care much about Shedeur Sanders, even though there was some games where he played good and played bad. I just feel that Travis Hunter is that dude. Even if he played at Colorado, because I heard what Jay said, and he made some good points, because he wasn't in the conference like the SEC, right? He didn't play those top tier good teams as much, but he still put up some solid numbers for a dude in Colorado, and I think he'll be more effective wide receiver wise, because that's I feel like that's more of how he won the Heisman Trophy. Was more accolades and more records for wide receiver than he did as a DB. But no doubt that I think every team right now is going to say what they're going to say, right? Like Jay said, you got the Browns saying they'll pay him two-way, the Giants saying they'll play him two-way. I remember Mike Vrabel going out saying, listen, if we get Travis Hunter, we're going to play him both ways as well. We won't log him in as a wide receiver or cornerback. We're going to log him in as an alternate or whatever. If they do that, if any team do that, I expect more wide receiver out of him and a little bit here and there cornerback, because like you guys said, it takes a toll on a player to literally play two different sides of the ball all day, every day. We're talking 18 weeks, maybe soon 19 weeks, because the NFL is talking about moving up the weeks and stuff. So you're playing So technically 17 games in a season with the bye week, like that takes a toll on your body. And I don't think that a team will do that quickly to a rookie. So I feel like they'll target him more as a receiver, but he'll get some plays as a defensive back.
Do you guys think he's the top receiver coming into the draft, or do you think there's anybody better?
Well, he had like a little over 700, I believe 700 yards receiving. So I don't know if he was necessarily the best wide receiver, but he definitely was in the top of the wide receiving class. That's for sure. Let me see here. So number 2. See, he played 1,481 snaps on offense and defense, nearly 300 more snaps than any other player at FBS. He also recorded 15 touchdown catches, tied for second most in the FBS, and intercepted 4 passes, tied for third most in the Big 12. So, I mean, clearly he's a stud on both sides of the ball. Is he the best wide receiver? I don't know. Maybe McMillan might be a little bit better than him, but still, he is a hell of a good. He definitely is a touchdown magnet. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah, I'm impressed with the 15 touchdowns and 700 yards. That's impressive. Magnet. That is impressive.
According to this site, he's the number 1 ranked wide receiver coming out this year.
Okay. So
they have Hunter at 1. They have McMillan at number 2.
Okay.
Matthew Golden from Texas at 3. Burden, the 3rd, at 4. Egbuka from Ohio State at 5. I think Egbuka from Ohio State's a little underrated because everybody was talking about a couple of the other receivers they had, and he's really good. So I think he's a little underrated coming into the draft.
I'm gonna be real, and I like Travis Hunter. I feel like the 15 touchdowns in a season in college is like, yeah, that's good. But you expect that, right? I mean, we see college schools scoring like 50, 60 points in a game. I feel like when he gets to the NFL, people will be surprised that he'll finish the season with like 7 touchdown catches or 6 touchdown catches. And they're like, well, what happened? Like, we've seen what he did in college. For one, it's 2 different sports. But then again, I feel like the mindset of those receivers is like, they're playing harder in college to get a higher draft pick for more money. Then once they got it, they don't give a damn about it anymore, right? I feel like they don't care about it no more. Compared to what Chris just said, the wide receiver from Ohio State getting overlooked, he's the type of person you're going to want because he already sees that, oh, they got me as like the 5th best wide receiver in this draft, projected to probably go 3rd round, maybe even 4th round. He's going to come out to a team and say, listen, this is the reason why I should have got drafted in the 1st round or maybe even the 2nd round. And then people are going to be surprised on how this guy got like 10 receiving touchdowns in a season and Travis Hunter got like 6. You got to put those into minds as well for these fans. Is, yeah, you hear the name Travis Hunter, you want that guy, but also remember what he did in college is not going to be what he can do in the NFL, because once he gets that high pick and get that money, I feel like he's going to care less.
Let me ask you this, Don. So I know you're looking at the list of the wide receivers. Where does Isaiah Bond fall on that list? If you still have it pulled up.
12.
Wow, he's way down there. I'm just curious because obviously, as you guys know, Isaiah Bond, there was a sexual assault lawsuit filed against him. He's been released from jail. His lawyer says he's completely innocent, has basically attached the lawsuit paperwork because now I guess Isaiah Bond is suing, I guess the woman or whatever over it. And so he has sent this paperwork to all 32 NFL teams. I'm just curious as to how it's going to affect his draft status, overall. I mean, he is 12, so he probably won't be but a late round, probably what, 5th or 6th round, maybe somewhere around there, possibly even.
Probably be my guess. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah.
I know a couple of them receivers have been linked to Dallas.
Yeah, I want to say it was maybe Golden.
Yep.
Well, McMillan. I saw McMillan in one draft, and then I saw Golden in another draft.
Jerry Jones like those convicts.
Jay wants Golden or the bond because they played for Texas.
No, not necessarily so much that. I probably would if they're going to go wide receiver. I'd like to get McMillan, but just because I know that guy, I saw what he did at Arizona. But in all honesty, and I've said this many times, I wouldn't be upset. I mean, I want them to go trenches. I want Dallas to go trenches. I don't care if it's offensive lineman. I don't care if it's defensive lineman. That's what I prefer. But Jerry's not really. If he's going to draft at 12, I don't know if that's not. He likes the flashy first round picks. So I wouldn't be surprised if McMillan was going off the board if he was available at 12.
I think you should go I agree with you, Jay. I think you guys should go off to defense. I think you can get a running back in the second round if you need.
Absolutely.
If you feel like you need a running back, which I agree with you. I think they should get a running back, either second or third round. I think they can get somebody. Receiver, I don't know. I don't know how deep the receiver draft is.
I like Scatterbo. I watched him. I watched him play in the playoffs, and he's very nasty. Like he has that he has that high motor. Like he's a very physically mean kind of running back. And I think Dallas needs a guy like that. We really do. We need a guy like that. And so if they went offensive line or defensive line at 12 and they came back and grabbed a running back, in the second, whatever, I think that's probably the way I would like to see it go. But I don't know, man. I'm not Jerry. Jerry always does the opposite of what I wish he would do. So,
Chris, what do you think the Colts are going to do? I think you agree with me that you'd like to see him get Warren, the tight end. Let's say Warren's not there. What would you like to see the Colts do? He has no idea what I said.
Say that again. I was reading.
Okay. He can't multitask at all. If the Colts the first pick, I think you would like to see him get Warren. That's what we've talked about. But if they can't get Warren, he's gone. What would you like to see the Colts do with that first pick? Is there anybody that stands out to you you'd like to see him get?
Oh, man. I'm trying to think of the guy's name now. There's that other tight end.
There's another tight end that they've talked about. And some people had him rated higher than Warren.
Yeah. I think we need a tight end. So if Warren's not there, the other guy is real good. I can't think of his name off the top of my head now. I'll look it up. But no, they were I was reading about the 40 times. Travis Hunter's 40 times was 4.4. McMillan is at 4.5. Golden's at 4.29.
Yeah.
Damn. So Golden's, I guess he's the speedster of the group.
See, McMillan's 6'5", or like Hunter's only 6'1", Golden's only 6 foot. I mean, 6'5" receiver, that's a big target.
That is a big target.
Here, I'll tell you that guy's name. Let me switch over to tight ends real quick.
Damn it.
As soon as he gets that,
Colston Loveland from Michigan.
Loveland. Okay.
He's the number 2. He's the number 2 rated tight end, with Warren being the number 1 rated. Their 40 times are almost identical. Actually, their rating is almost identical.
Who's the third?
Fannin Jr. from.
Now I did see Fannin Jr. He actually looked pretty impressive.
Can I ask this real quick, Chris, Tony? What pick do you guys got in the first round?
14, I believe, in it.
Yeah.
Hear me out real quick. There's news going around that the Eagles are looking to shop Dallas Goedert. And you guys need a tight end. Would you swap first-round picks with them and get Dallas Goedert and you guys go from 14, you said?
Yep.
Would you go from 14 to 31?
If you got Goddard?
But you get Dallas Goedert, and you say you need a tight end.
I would do that.
First, you said swap first?
Yeah,
swap first, and then you get Goddard thrown in.
And you honestly, the Eagles might throw in like a couple more draft picks, probably. Some late rounders.
You might be able to get a 5th or 6th rounder too. Yeah, I don't know, Chris. Would you do that? I think I would definitely consider it strongly.
Oh no, I would do it because Goddard's only 30 years old. That's why I was seeing how old he was.
That's what
his numbers last year.
Because I remember seeing that the Eagles are looking to shop him around. When you say you guys need a tight end, I would honestly do that. I would do that with the number 4 pick. Like, hey, yo, give me a tight. But then again, we don't need a tight end. So I wouldn't
Yeah,
do it.
But Mark Andrews is possibly out there as well.
But Andrews has a hard time
Yeah,
staying
I'd
healthy.
rather have Goddard than Andrews because
Yeah.
of the health.
Andrews
Yeah, I
might
get
be a little more, but he just can't stay
And I
healthy.
think
You know
Goddard's
why
still
else? You know
younger
what
as
else
well.
I'll do it for? You know why I'll do it, Chris? Because Goddard just won a Super Bowl and Mark Andrews dropped the ball to make it.
Goddard had 42 catches for 500 yards last season, averaged 11.8 yards a catch. The year before, he had 60 catches for 600 yards and averaged 10 yards a catch. Over his career, he averages almost 12 yards a catch.
I think Warren. I'll be honest with you. I do think Warren will be a better tight end than Goddard, but I don't know if he's going to be there with the 14th pick. I think because there's been some speculation that he's going to go in the top 10. So that would be. I mean, you're guaranteed if you make that trade, you got Goddard.
And we were going to draft Bowers last year, and
we going to take Bowers last year.
Raiders jumped up right ahead of us and took him. So,
Right.
I mean, you just never know.
Now, could the Colts move up? And I mean, if they really want him, or for somebody,
if you threw in extra picks, you'd have to throw in some
It's not
extra
like
picks.
Ballard.
Ballard usually don't do that. He's usually picking up picks.
I think you would be beneficial to take Goddard, upgrade your tight end position immediately, and still have another option to go in the first round to get another guy. So you can get 2 for 1 quality players, right? You can probably get somebody on the defensive line if you want to show up your defensive line. There's a deep in safeties, deep in corners. You know, you could probably pick up some secondary. There's a lot of different ways you can go with that and really improve your team.
Yeah, I agree. Like I said, I'd like to have Warren because I think Warren is going to be a Bowers type player. I think he could come in the league next year and have 70 catches.
And a lot of
I really believe that, but I don't know that we're going to get him with the 14th pick. And like I said, like he said, our general managers usually don't move up; he moves back. So,
and a lot of it depends on how the draft goes too. Because like last year, Colts ended up getting one of the top defensive pass rushers in the draft. That getting that Latu, nobody thought he'd be available at 14 or 15.
Yeah.
So we got a guy that everybody thought was going to go a lot sooner. When we ended up with him, even though we was going to get a tight end, he got took, but we ended up with a real good player. So, I don't know. I mean, I wouldn't be mad if they'd done that with Goddard, but I'm definitely hoping if we do draft that we get a tight end because that's one position we've needed. We needed.
Jay, I love you, Jay, but get this
badly.
shit off. Get this stupid shit off. Get that out of here. Get that out
No,
of here.
actually, it's not as dumb though. It's
dumb.
not as dumb. Hold on. No, think about this for a minute. Think about this. If I would absolutely do that because here's the thing: we're drafting 12. Dolphins are drafting 13. If you want to give me Ramsey, and all I do is go back one pick, and I know I'm going to and I want to go offensive line or defensive line. I know I'm going to get a good quality offensive line or a defensive line at 13, and I can pick up a halfway good secondary player that's better than what I got in the secondary currently. I don't know how long Trey Diggs is going to be out for still on the injury list. No, seriously, we have like 2 or 3 of our secondary corners that were on the injured list. We can absolutely use some depth at secondary. So I would take that. I mean, I'm not losing anything.
Of course, listen, of course you would, right? And I'm not saying that it can't happen and it might not happen or whatever like that, but you have to look at the facts. If the Dolphins wanted to move up one spot, they're not going to give you a player like Jalen Ramsey just to move up.
No, I'm not saying that would come to fruition. Joe just asked the question, and I would say yes, I would do that. I don't think. Yeah,
I know, but like I'm just saying, I'm answering in my part of what if it was you, that's what you would do. But I'm saying like they won't move up one just to give Jalen Ramsey.
No, I understand
compared to what I just said with the Colts and the Eagles. The Eagles are 31st to pick in the first round. The Colts are only at 14. So of course the Eagles have to give them Dallas Goedert, a player, and maybe some multiple like a late round draft pick to move up. That's like what 15 spots.
Yeah.
Up. So I mean, compared to just moving up one spot, it's not the Cowboys. I don't think the Dolphins are dumb enough to give away Jalen Ramsey just to move up one spot.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
Oh, I don't think they would do it either. I just answered the question. Calm down, Frankie. Over there.
No, I know you answered the question, and I'm not saying that's dumb on your part. If anything, that helps you guys. But I'm saying I don't think that Miami.
I understand. You're saying the idea that would be a possibility is dumb, which I would agree. I don't. Yeah, I don't think the Dolphins.
Joe said he didn't realize that he was the 13th pick.
Yeah.
I mean, if the Eagles, if the Dolphins maybe had like the 6th pick, 5th pick, or something like that, and you guys were at 12 or 13, then maybe I can see that happening. Or you guys at that high pick, or 4th or 5th, and they're at 13, and
right.
Then they want to move up. Then I can see that possibly happening. Like, okay, throw in Jalen Ramsey since you got him in the market, and we'll do it. Then the Dolphins will do it. But for just going up one pick, if anything, that's just like let's do a quick pick swap, and then we'll add in like a 7th rounder to the Cowboys.
Yeah. No, I get what you're saying. Wow. Well, folks, I know we got wrestling to get to, so there's really nothing else out there in sports, to be honest with you. I think we'll probably use tomorrow's show, and we'll preview whatever games we got going on tomorrow. At that point, we'll probably just use that to lead off the show.
We got a 4-game series starting off today in Tampa against the Rays. It's going to be a little weird because the Yankees are going to George Steinbrenner Field. That's our field, but for some odd reason, it's going to feel like an away game. But that stadium is going to be filled with Yankee fans. It's going to feel like a home game, but we're going to be in the away side of the field. Everything's going to be tempoed out. It's going to be weird, but we're going to run them guys right out of our stadium. That's why I keep seeing people. I keep seeing people like what's the Jonathan Mathis? Tampa Bay hitting a lot of home runs today. Blah blah blah. Listen, they're playing at George Steinbrenner Field. That's our freaking spring training field. That's our AAA field. Like I think the longest it goes out is like 330 something feet, maybe 340 tops. Like that's nothing. Anyone can hit that. So I'm expecting the Yankees and Tampa to hit a lot of home runs in this 4-game series, especially with the Yankees like playing in warm weather. Ooh, how's the Reds doing?
Well, we're losing.
What's the score?
5-3.
I don't see no tears yet.
Nah, hey, we're used to it, so we're gonna cry.
Look at the way Chris is looking though. Look at the way Chris is looking. He's looking at that TV like, come on, you motherfuckers! Like, come
Well,
on.
they had bases loaded. De La Cruz up the bat, and he watches a pitch go right down the fucking middle and don't even swing the bat.
Oh, this is the first time I hear Chris pissed off to De La Cruz.
see, Chris and Tony, you guys should be Yankees fans.
Hey, we call the evil empire, man. You want to come to the dark side, Chris? We accept you.
Yeah.
I didn't even know he was on here. All of a sudden, I heard damn voice.
You see this, Chris? You see this little logo I have right here on my picture? We could just cut it out and just print it right on the center of your chest to cover that C.
No, but De La Cruz has been aggravating me here lately because I think it might be time to move him away from shortstop.
Yeah, that was the perfect time to try to chime in on that one. But yeah, I can see where Chris is coming for that.
He makes a lot of outstanding plays over there, but he makes too many errors on just routine fucking plays.
Bonehead plays,
What's his actual position?
They've been trying to play him at short. I think they didn't even move him to third or maybe
third of the outfield.
Or maybe the outfield.
I think he'd be his outfield guy, honestly.
Have he always?
As fast as De La Cruz is, I probably would put him like in center where, you have to cover the most ground.
Can't put
if
him.
You're gonna put him in the outfield.
They can't put him in center right now.
They can't.
Okay. You don't want to move TJ Friedel out of center.
Might as well just make De La Cruz a catcher.
Designated.
I think they should try. I think they should try him at third. I think he would be a little better over at third.
I agree.
Don't have to worry about his moving as much and stuff. But that's just me.
Plus, McLean's a hell of a defensive player. He can play short, and you play Lux at second.
Hold on.
Was it Jonathan India that
Hold up.
Uh-oh.
Hold up. Hold on, honey.
Yeah.
Hold on, honey. Joe, I don't think this is the right time for an Astros fan to start it off with me. Because if I'm not mistaken, aren't you under the Angels? Aren't you under the Mariners? Aren't you tied with a team that don't even have a name besides Athletics? You coming at me right now, sir? And Jay, thank you so much for keeping quiet because this is between me and Joe. Please don't get into this, okay? This is between me and Joe. I understand how you and Joe are twins, and you like to pinky finger each other and stuff like that. But this is between me and Joe. You got the nerve to come out and say something about the Yankees, bro. You don't want to do it, Joe. Let's just not do it, okay? Until your division becomes good, just keep the mouth shut when it comes to the Astros.
And there you have it, everybody.
Astros.
Woo, you heard that? That was from a little Yankee fan. She said, say it again. Yankees.
Suck. That's what she meant to say.
She loved the Yankees. She wear my hat every day, Jay. Every day, Jay.
Well, she ain't got a choice. You ain't
I understand. I understand. It's
can't say that or go out with no hat.
I understand it's cute to you. But you keep letting your dog wear your Astros hat. That's what happens over there in Texas. You let dogs wear your stuff, right? Little puppies, little chihuahuas.
My dog is cool. Hey, my dog's cool. He's been in calendars. He's cool. Who's cool?
How about have a shell on it?
What the hell happened to my fucking camera?
Hold on. Joe, and this is right, Joe. This is right, Joe. The Astros always start off slow and then they get on going. But this is a different Astros, buddy. There's no more Tucker. There's no more Kyle Tucker. There's no more Alex Bregman. Bro, this is a Jose Altuve in the outfield. We're talking about a 4'3" guy in the outfield. But don't worry, guys. The Astros gonna start off slow. Come out on fire.
Hey, truthfully though, Frankie, I mean, if you do keep it real though, if you look at our injury list on our pitching staff, it's pretty rough to be an Astro pitcher right now. We got more damn people on the damn injury list. It's ridiculous. I mean, ridiculous.
No, don't do it, Jay. No, let Joe keep going. You just sit there, be quiet. You're being a good boy right now. Let
Joe say whatever he got. Don't you talk to me like that, you motherfucker.
Don't try and get Joe to come back in here and be like, oh yeah, you're right, Jay. We do got a lot of people in injury. You're right, Jay. Nah.
Hey, Joe, Delaware Ave, New York. I don't even know what that means. What is Delaware Ave, New York? I don't know what that means.
He's trying to find my location. That's not even my location.
He's done that before. Fucking around.
He did do that. He said, remember, he said something with Washington Ave in Albany, and I was shocked. Like, what the hell?
Yeah, he did that a while back.
I still remember to this day. I'm like,
he was probably looking outside his living room windows and stuff, you know.
Typical. I'm tagging Jay in right now. What's Jay gonna do? Help you? Me and Jay go at it back and forth all the time. He ain't gonna do nothing.
Well, I'll tell you this, Joe. I'll tell you this. Hey, you really can say a lot of things, but at the end of the day, he still hasn't won a World Series in 15 years. So whatever.
Yeah, that's because we don't cheat for a World Series.
Oh, okay. Watch this. Okay. No.
Did it to yourself. Did it to yourself.
You tell me that 2022 was a cheat? Hold on. We won in 2022. When's the last time you won, guy? When's the last time? Literally, all the
2009 is cool.
Last time. You're the kind of team that goes into a fancy store and still comes out poor.
Hey, don't forget, in 2022 you won, but you were using illegal bats.
No, don't forget that shit. We won. Hey, that's okay, Joe. That's what ugly looks like. Joe, that's what ugly looks like. Don't be like that. That's what ugly looks like, Joe. Okay, that's what losers look like right now.
Ugly looks like Jared Jones and the Cowboys, but that's
don't even go there, Glenn. You know what? Don't about Cowboys, Glenn. Don't do it. Just leave it alone.
I have to do it.
I mean, if we're being serious, I think ugly looks more like the Dylan Brooks and the Van Fleet. We're just going back and forth. We're going back.
All I know is you're in third and I'm in second. Shut your pie hole.
All I know is, why is your college team called Cougars? Isn't that a female? Oh!
But yet, we were in the Final Four, and you were where?
You were in the Final Four.
No, we were in the Final Four, and you were where?
What happened in the Final Four?
Where were you, Frankie? Where were you?
I don't have a college team
Alabama.
basketball.
Alabama.
I don't have a college
Seriously,
team.
you're from the north. What you doing in the south? Stay out of the south.
It's so funny. I don't have a college team basketball, and you think I'm an Alabama?
Yes, you
basketball
do.
team.
You're an Alabama guy. What are you talking about?
I'm an Alabama football team. I don't care about basketball college.
Bro, you are the most selective son of a bitch I've ever
Hey,
seen.
I'm real, and I said this.
No,
during
literally,
March
like, if it's not like a famous team that's got a bunch of crap behind it, you're not. That's.
You're just mad because you took
No,
a
I'm
3
serious.
shot and didn't even get the 3 shot
Of all your teams, none of them are like off
you
the.
know what's crazy?
You're not a Buffalo Bills fan, even though you're closer to.
You know
Buffalo.
what's insane? You know what's insane?
I don't get it. It's weird. It's weird.
Chris, Tony, Glenn, you remember on ESPN where they do like the worst top 10 stuff and sports?
Get out of here.
I'm pretty sure.
Top 10, yeah.
Yes, grand slam, motherfucker. Damn.
Yeah.
Whoa! I want more excitement. Get up and get me some excitement, damn it! Grand slam. Who hit the grand slam?
Fraley.
Jake Fraley.
Hey, look, you ever seen a turtle when its head fully comes out? That was literally Gonzo. The head was all the way out.
Time to get a big hit. We've had bases loaded the last 2 innings. This time we actually scored with them.
Oh yeah, it's about time we did hunt Gronzo. Because you know how it's been, man. Losing one.
Hold on, Glenn. Didn't you just come in here trying to threaten them to be Yankee fans?
I picked the perfect time.
Glenn goes with the winners, kind of like you.
Hey, we were only a game and a half out of first place going into the day.
Yes, exactly. I still think that we can win the Central.
Man, hey, Billy over there talking about Cougars getting chopped by the Gators. I don't even know who your team is, Billy. I'm assuming you're out the Indiana area.
No,
so suck it.
Orioles,
Connecticut.
I was gonna say he's UConn.
Oh, it's Connecticut.
Connecticut.
Oh, okay. How does the thing go?
You can't say much UConn about UConn basketball. They wouldn't tune.
I know about his college team, but he's a Red Sox fan.
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay. He was saying go Reds. I didn't know if he was. I guess I was thinking he must have been around the Ohio or Indiana
Sure
area.
he's a Red Sox fan. Is that right, Chris? I believe.
Billy Buzz, tell me who your teams are. Put them in the comments. Let's see who you got.
Billy, if I was,
I think he's a Cowboy fan.
He's a UConn fan.
Yeah, he's a UConn fan.
UConn. Okay, well that makes sense. You're in Delaware, so it makes sense.
He's a Cowboy fan. I know that.
Okay, so Cowboys.
I believe Red Sox. I'm not sure on that, but I believe Red Sox.
Damn, he just another Frankie.
Yeah,
teams all over the place.
Be giving out your address in a minute.
Everybody knows where I live. I'll put pictures up on Facebook every now and then.
Oh man! So hey, WrestleMania starts tomorrow. Yeah.
Saturday, Jay.
Saturday. I mean, I'm sorry. Well, no, because I guess we got Easter weekend, so Melanie's on a 4-day weekend, and whenever she gets those 4 days, I guess my brain always assumes we're on Friday when really, we're on Thursday. So I apologize. I run my life on a teacher schedule.
There you go, Jay.
Red Sox, Dallas, New York Rangers. Man, you were definitely all over the place, Billy.
Rangers had a tough year this year.
UConn. Okay. I got you, Billy. Now I'm vibing with you. But okay, all right. Well, at least you're a Cowboys fan. That's cool.
Hey, hockey playoffs can start, guys. Come on, Vegas. Let's go.
Let's go, Dallas.
They play Colorado.
You know what? I got to be honest with you, though, guys. I'm really kind of conflicted because Houston has been in talks that maybe we'll get an NHL team, possibly get an NHL team. And I really want to kind of support them. But if we get them as a team, I kind of want to support them. But I'm torn because I'm a Dallas Stars guy, but I'm not a really huge hockey person.
Yeah.
So let me ask you this. Let me get you guys' thought process. Let me get your thought process. If I'm not really huge into hockey, so it's not like I watch all the Dallas Stars games. I don't have any jerseys, nothing like that. Yeah. Can I switch if Houston was to get an NHL team? Can I switch and not be called a bandwagon, or do I must stay with Dallas and not be called a bandwagon? But how does that work?
You can switch because I switched from the Bears to when we got the Colts, and I was called all my brothers called me a bandwagon jumper because they're all still Bears fans, but I went to the Colts.
Because I do want to, I want to show some love, and if it was like football, baseball, basketball, where I'm heavily involved in my teams, I wouldn't switch. But I'm not as heavily involved in hockey, so that's why I was curious to see. Because I don't want to be a bandwagon. I've never been that. I don't want to be that.
You don't want to be like Frankie.
Yeah, I don't want to be like Frankie. Yeah.
I think what you should do is do what half of Texas already does, and I think what they do is just split their allegiance to both teams. Houston and Cowboys and Texans. So
That's what Jay already does. If you listen to him talk, he's a closet Texans fan.
yeah, like I feel like that'd be
Is
good for
Texan
you.
your
And
number
I'm
two
not trying to be
team?
funny without being serious.
I mean, Jay does go around saying.
Gonzo, could you please give a couple more cranks on your seat so we can hear you in the microphone, please?
I mean, he does go around saying he's Houston everything.
Shut your pot. Shut your. I mean, literally, Dallas and University of Texas are really the only teams that are, and I guess we won't put Dallas Stars, so that's the only hockey team we have. Those are really the only three teams, that I kind of go outside of. But my family's kind of weird because half my family graduated from Texas, and the other half of my family graduated from U of H. So it's kind of like, I don't know, it's a really weird dinner conversation when we get together.
Which
It's
one
probably
did
better
you
to have your
which one
family.
did you graduate from?
Oh, I did. I went to the Army. I wasn't smart enough to graduate.
I was going to say that it'd be a
You
better
said
conversation.
half went there, half went there. So
Yeah, no, what I'm
half
saying.
you was a part of it.
So for example, like so take my sister and my dad. They all went to the U of H side, and then all my other cousins, like all my cousins, went to Texas. So I mean, that's why I'm saying we're half and half. You know, what I mean, you can bet on a WrestleMania. Wow. Okay.
Yep. Bet online AG, but Billy might have another website that he.
Well, when I went to my cousin's wedding, they played the Texas fight song at her wedding, and the groom's cake was the University of Texas seal. And then my sister knew when they got married, it was all U of H decorated. So it's just kind of like we're on two separate sides of the.
Yeah, it's better than it being half Texas and half Oklahoma Sooners. I mean.
Oh God, no. Now that is one thing. We would never go outside the state of Texas. My family is very loyal to being here, unless they got a scholarship somewhere. Now then they might go outside. If you got a scholarship or whatever, like I know Carson, he graduated U of H in business, which now he works for BP. Go Carson. But he, I think if he would have got a scholarship to like let's say Wharton School of Business or Ivy League somewhere, then yeah, I think he would have gone. Outside the state.
Jay, why Houston and not the Texas Rangers?
Oh, why he? Why the Astros are not the Rangers? That's just because I've been an Astros fan since day one.
Okay. I was just curious.
Truthfully, Dallas was kind of thrown on me when I was a kid. When I was a kid, my dad put a Dallas Cowboy jersey on me back when I was 4 years old in '76, and I just stayed with it. Ever since then, I just stayed with it. So I've just kind of. Whatever I was dressed in, I just kind of stayed loyal to whatever I was dressed in. So primarily, it's all Houston-based, except for the Cowboys.
I really don't like how you're covering for your dad right now.
No. Hey, I got a great dad, man. What are you talking about? My dad's awesome.
Jay, can you tell me the year of when you were 4 years old?
1976.
That's the time where parents were freely beating the shit out of their kids. Okay? And let me tell you something.
My dad was definitely not one to spare the rod. I promise you that.
I'm going to tell you this right now. There's a thing called when you get to a certain age and you understand the sport and you love the sport and you want to pick a team for your own. There's a thing called that. It's called picking my own team. But I know for a fact that you said that to your dad and you were like, "Listen, Pop, like I like them Texans. Don't you?" At the time, Houston Oilers. But I like the Houston, and your dad beat the shit out of you. Said you're a damn Dallas guy, aren't you? You're a Dallas guy.
You're a damn Dallas guy. You like Bob Lilly and Devanster.
You are gonna follow the Tom Landry era,
motherfucker.
That's exactly what his dad said. Yeah, when he told him he was like in the Houston.
They just hit back-to-back home runs to tie this fucking game up.
Oh, imagine that. You can see it coming.
The lovely sport of baseball, where 1 minute you're like, "Oh yeah, grand slam,"
yeah,
and
that's
then
true.
The next
You mother. Yeah,
hey, if you notice though, the turtle head is slowly going back into the shell.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Hey Frankie, what do you think about Joe's post there?
I will bet my house that Cody Rhodes beats Cena.
That's a losing proposition right there, man.
You think so? Is that for the WWE Championship? Like the
Yep. That's for the big one. Sunday night.
Tuesday. Why would they give it to Cena if he's actually on his? If this is like his last tour, so what? He'll win it and then just give it up for grabs.
Oh my god, this is pissing me off. All right, for one, Jay, we've been talking about this match since Elimination Chamber when it got done with. Okay. 2, I can see Cena winning it for one reason and one reason only, for WWE to finally, make someone break Ric Flair's record.
Yep.
The question is, how long will Cena hold it for? We don't know. I say he probably holds it until SummerSlam, the next biggest pay-per-view out there, and lose it to Cody Rhodes just to, rack up Cody Rhodes' WWE record as well, making him a 2-time champ. But it's hurting me every day we're talking about this, and you're just like, oh, it's hurting me. It honestly is. And my kids are around me, so like I can't say what I actually want to say.
What, that you're a soap opera person?
It's hurting.
You like soap. There's nothing wrong with liking
It hurts
soap.
so much.
I
like
agree
that
with you,
dove
Frankie.
soap.
I think Cena wins. I think he loses back to Cody at SummerSlam. I think Cena goes back to good guy, and him and The Rock battle some way. Maybe some Rock guys, or maybe even The Rock as his last match.
Team Cena versus Team Rock at War Games?
Could be. That would sell a lot of tickets.
That would sell a lot of tickets just from their name recognition alone.
But something else.
Survivor Series location has not been announced yet, so I'm interested to see where that lands, especially with knowing that the last pay-per-view of the year is going to be in Boston. So
Last one's in Boston.
Yeah.
Yeah, and SummerSlam's a two-night event now, so that's going to be. I forget where that's at. Is that in Cleveland?
That's
No,
how
we have it. We have it this
yeah,
year.
they have
Okay,
it.
New York. Okay,
It'd be funny if
you going to that,
got-
Frankie?
I'm trying so hard to go to it, but tickets are really crazy.
Yeah.
And I can't even trust these tickets, honestly, because WWE hasn't announced anything for SummerSlam yet. We know that it doesn't get announced fully until after WrestleMania because all their focus is on this big pay-per-view right now.
Yeah.
So it's like they're selling tickets online, but I can't trust them because it's not WWE approved type tickets.
Something else you might think about. I know they've released more tickets for WrestleMania, and I've seen some of the prices are not too bad for some of these tickets. I don't know how good of seats they are. I know they're not, down low or anything.
Yeah.
But I think I've seen some for $90.
Yeah. When I went to WrestleMania 35, I sat at the high seats. I didn't care. It was cheap as hell. My wife waited in line for so long, like on the online line for so long. She got the tickets for like a total of like almost close to $300. But then but those tickets, the ones she got, because she got them before it got shipped out to everybody else. She got the tickets with the Hall of Fame night, so I was able to go to the Hall of Fame as well. That's why it was close to $300. But the WrestleMania tickets alone were close to like $230 for both of us for the high seats.
Yeah, that stuff ain't cheap, man. I'll tell you that.
I know the high seats.
Not at all.
We paid like $260 to go to a ticket to go to the Rumble.
Yeah, and I know before these one seats just got released for WrestleMania, the cheapest seat I had seen was
about
$700.
200. Yeah. Oh, so more than that. Okay.
Yeah, I'd seen $700 was the cheapest, is what I'd
Yes.
seen in Vegas. Of course, Vegas is a little bit different market than some places, of course. But
Right.
Vegas is freaking expensive. Listen, I told and I think Jay, you guys got one over there in Texas. There's a thing where you can it's not the Sphere stuff like in Vegas. It's a theater.
it's in Dallas. Yeah,
It's in
Oh,
Dallas. Right?
yeah.
Yeah, you could sit in there and you get it's like a view, like you're like literally there. So like for the football, you could
If
sit
I
in
was
this
Jay, I'd go
in this
check that out.
room, but like the way you see the game, Jay, is like literally right there at the touchdown goal line stuff.
yeah, they're like it's
Oh,
right
it
up on you.
puts you like up close and personal.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's like
yeah.
it's right on you.
Yeah, like
The
you're
stadium
right
seating
there.
too.
So like for wrestling, when you want to go there, you're literally like you're watching from like the side of the ring, wherever the camera is showing you from.
Yeah,
the
it's
side
right
of
Oh,
the ring.
dude, that would be so dope.
Yeah, they
It-
have
it-
one in Dallas.
Yep.
You need to go, Jay. You need to go.
No, I'm definitely, yeah, for sure.
Hey Joe, on this Cena thing, Cena's continuing to wrestle after Mania. I believe all the way into December, and then that's when
Yeah.
he's supposed to be done.
Yeah, he's gonna be at every pay-per-view. I know after WrestleMania, he's gonna make some Raw appearances, SmackDown appearances, and stuff. That's why, and I saw the list, and that's why I think when I saw that list, that's why I think Cena's gonna win the title, because they wouldn't have put that much of a list of appearance for Cena if he's not gonna be a champion.
Yeah, especially for Backlash in itself,
And another reason they put the title on Cena, Jay, is because they'll make big money with it. Even though they make big money with Cody, there's still people going to pay for Cody. But Cena with that belt, and he could wrestle CM Punk, he could wrestle Randy Orton, and everybody wants to see that. So they can make big money with Cena with that belt.
Right, because you follow the way the fans want the storyline to go, because it all translates into money.
Yep, and that's what they're about with TKO. They're all about money.
Well, they're certainly making it.
Yep.
Every time I see them, it looks like they're making that money.
You're talking about Vegas on an Easter weekend. That's why Vegas wanted it. They wanted WrestleMania on Easter weekend to get people to come there on Easter, and they're going to have 55 or 60,000 both nights.
People were lining up.
Hold on. And Glenn, didn't you were, I think one of y'all put up where it looked like Roman Reigns was at the Raiders facility?
Yeah, I was getting ready. I'm happy you mentioned that, because I feel bad for Logan, because he's a Raiders fan, and that should tell you right there that Roman Reigns ain't gonna win on Saturday. Him holding that Raiders jersey, man.
Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, I saw you put that in there.
I mean, they do promotional stuff like that, but I'm just jacking around. That's all.
I did see where Roman's going to continue to wrestle to either 2027 or 2028, and he's going to retire.
Yeah, by the time, Tony, that we get WrestleMania, man, Roman might be retired by then.
He could be.
But why is he retiring? Is he just retiring because he doesn't want to do it anymore, or are they just kind of just phasing him out? Or
he's making big money. I think he wants to get into movies also. And Jay, also with he still has to take medicine for leukemia. He has to take medicine every day. I think he'll be on that the rest of his life, and there are some side effects. I think that's why that's another reason people don't understand. That's why they don't work a full schedule. I don't think he can.
Yeah.
So physically, there's just days where he's just not ready to do it.
Probably that medicine. I mean, I don't know for sure, but I'm sure if you're taking, they say it's a pretty potent medicine. If you're taking that pretty potent medicine,
I'm sure it is.
I don't think you could wrestle. I don't think you could wrestle 300 times a year. That's just my guess.
They usually give you like for that kind of stuff. They usually give you medicines that suppresses the leukemia, and when it does that, it suppresses a lot of other things in the body, which probably causes his energy levels or what have you to drop to where he can't physically do the stunts that he needs to do because he probably doesn't have the energy to do it with.
Yeah, especially with the way it messes with your immune system. There could be days where he feels like he can't do much of anything, So I completely understand that, especially from having psoriatic arthritis. So
you talking about my tribal chief?
Yep,
absolutely.
Man, my tribal chief can do whatever the hell he wants. All right. He don't need to have leukemia. He could still wrestle 3 times a year because he's the tribal chief. He could do whatever
he's a tribal gimp.
He could do whatever he wants, Jay. All right? When you talk about my tribal chief, you mentioned it with a finger.
I didn't even know. You say you're a tribal chief. There ain't a bit of Samoa in your ass. So shut up with that tribal chief stuff.
You respect my tribal
3.1% Samoan.
You don't know. Maybe Roman made a visit to his house. He might have had some Samoan in him before.
No, but he is your tribal chief.
He is my tribal chief. That's right. I got Roman Reigns. Listen, there's a difference between Jay and me. All right, you need to understand. It's 2025. I got posters of Roman Reigns all around my goddamn house. What's up?
I bet you do. I respect my tribal chief. I bet it's got the scratch and sniff on it, don't it?
I do. You know what? And I do it in the abs part, Jay. And you want to know something else? Half the posters of my tribal chief are shirtless.
But you walk around the house just sniffing all over it.
What's up? I'm sniffing the abs. I'm sniffing the pants. I ain't saying wear around the pants, but I'm sniffing it.
I don't bet.
It's 2025, damn it. You gotta accept some of these things, all right? Just because we have a just because we have a leader that don't care about it, man, the hell with that shit. I love my tribal chief. I acknowledge you, Roman Reigns. And I
One
love
in the air,
you
baby.
Solo.
I
You love Solo?
bet you do acknowledge him, Killer.
We went off the deep end.
I feel
On
like
that note, if you
I
like
feel
this
like
crazy content,
I feel like at the end of the night when Jay's done doing what he's got to do relationship wise, he finishes with the Jacob Fatu shake. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know what I mean.
They don't know what the Jacob Fatu shake is.
He got the Jacob Fatu shake on the bed. You know, like
I feel like I should be offended right now, but I
Well,
don't
smashing
know
from
what I
coast
should
to
be
coast,
offended
from
at.
coast to coast.
You gotta
Watch
send him
Wrestle-
a
watch-
video of that shake.
watch
Hey,
WrestleMania.
Tony, you always send me stuff, man. Just send me what he's talking about so I get an
I'll see
idea.
if I can
No,
find
you
a
no,
video.
you
Yeah,
wait
just-
for it, Tony. He can wait. You can wait 2 more nights. You'll see Jacob Fatu versus LA Knight. Yeah, for the United States Championship night 1 of WrestleMania Saturday. You'll see. He'll do the shake. He'll do the shake for you.
Yeah, he gonna shake and get down, man. Get jiggy with it.
I love when he does this shake. That's why as soon as I said I saw Chris stand up, started laughing. Like, yeah, he knows what you know what I'm talking about, Chris. Cause Chris does this. He does the shake too. I do the shake every night too.
Oh shit.
I feel like there should be an offense somewhere in there, but I just don't know what I should be offended at. So send me a video so I know what he's talking about. I guess I'll see. I'm gonna watch it Saturday and
I
Sunday.
tell you what you do, Jay. You put your
Throw
ones
the
in the air,
fucking ball.
and the miles of trouble, Chief.
You know, I do love watching the various emotions that Chris goes through in the show. It really is. It really is. I mean, I worry about it. I almost feel like we got to put a heart monitor on his cuff
Easy out.
and
Easy
take his
for
pulse.
It's disappointing to see how some of the Reds have been since we won all. So I went and saw Game 3 when Scott Lauren dropped that ball at third base at that game, and that game was ugh. He was looking good early, but you know. Yeah, God's Tony knows exactly what I'm talking about.
I'm just picturing Jay right now doing the Fatu shake.
Again, I feel like
you know what I mean?
I don't know what I'm being offended at.
That's all I got in my head right now. I
That
can't
would be
stop laughing
that would
thinking
be a
about
sign.
it.
It would be. Frankie, be quiet. I don't want to see that shit.
Yeah, he should never do that with the shirt off. That's for damn sure. But yeah, that's beside the fact.
He doing the shake, everything clapping. We need to get out of here.
I hope his floors
it like
are
that,
not
huh?
wood. I hope his floors ain't wood though. I'll tell you that much.
I'm sitting here and I'm thinking, I'm like, yeah, he does the Jacob Fatu shake late at night. But then I'm thinking, like, wait, he's naked. He's got the clap.
Oh, he's thinking of Frankie's thinking of you naked, Jay. Better watch out.
Oh, I'm thinking if I was clapping. Like... Oh my God, we need to end the show before we get
Somebody's getting banned off this crap. That's all I know. If you have liked today's content and you want to see more of it, just come back tomorrow. Same back time, same back channel. We'll do some more crazy offensive stuff. And don't forget, if you do like the offensive stuff, give us a like and a subscribe on YouTube. It really does go a long way.
God.
We'll all be fired after this one, that's for sure.
I made Pop take his
What the
glasses
fuck was
on. He
that?
started turning red.
And also make sure you give Gonzo Sports Room GSR on YouTube a like, share, and subscribe. And until next time, Joe, he will be putting extra cheese on the pizza with that shake. Good times. And on that note, get us out.